Hey guys, welcome. Let me share my screen with you. Let's get going. Today we are going to talk about Lewis and Clark and the Louisiana Purchase. So let me pull up my ladybug for you. Alrighty, it is in chapter 10 of our social studies. Here we have, after the Revolutionary War, we had gained all of this kind of yellow territory you can see here. And then we have our first president, George Washington, our second president, John Adams, and now we are in with our third president, Thomas Jefferson. And as you saw in the video, I hope you already watched the video, he was able to purchase all of this territory past the Mississippi River for the United States and pretty much doubled it in size. So we're going to add that to our notes today. So let me pull out my notes. And so we're going to be talking about the Louisiana Purchase of 1803. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. And then in my social studies book on page 79, I'm going to cut out this rectangle right here to show that America doubles in size because of the Louisiana Purchase. Be careful. Don't cut into this area because we're going to use the back side, this stuff tomorrow, or I mean on Thursday. So I'm going to cut out on page 79. That map and that little blurb of information where it says America doubles. So go ahead and cut that out with me. We're going to glue it right there on our notes so that we have a map of what this looks like, because part of our goal is to understand how this changed the size of the United States. Can you imagine if we just stayed on that side of the Mississippi, just that little yellow part? So the little polka dots here, polka dots is the Louisiana Purchase. As we move forward on our timeline in our history, we will add these other territories. But right now we're just adding this one. All righty. So it's Thomas Jefferson. He's our third president. And I'm going to kind of make a little stair step of arrows and things happening. So I'm going to do an arrow pointing off to the side here. Okay. Thomas Jefferson. I'll do a little stick figure for him while you get that down. He has some luscious hair in all those pictures of him. Whenever I think of him, I always have a document and a quill and feathers, because remember, he wrote that Declaration of Independence as well. All right, so Thomas Jefferson, he sent James Monroe to negotiate and that's what you saw in the video. They offered some money and then they said, no, you have to come back with more. And negotiations where you kind of go back and forth with people to try and come to an agreement. And the guy that he was negotiating with was the leader of France. We bought this territory from France. We originally went to just get the city of New Orleans because it was a big port and we could have made a lot of money. But when we get there, Napoleon Bonaparte, the emperor of France, they had some really bad luck and lost a lot of people and a lot of money and a lot of lives. So he's kind of desperate for money. And he's like, dude, you want more land? Because I need money. Okay. So to negotiate with Napoleon, Bonaparte, and he is the French emperor. Kind of like the King of France. Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to do a little, I'm going to say this is James Monroe. It's like, hey, we want land. And then Napoleon was famous for being short. So I'm going to draw a little guy, a little short, and I'm going to put him in one of those French hats. Kind of do a little rectangle and then a big one there. That's going to be Napoleon. And then it's going to say, cool, we need money. All right. So now I'm going to draw my next arrow. Kind of bringing it off to the side. Napoleon needed money. Okay. So he sold the Louisiana territory. To the U.S. for $15 million. Now, that may sound like a lot of money to you and me, but that was a bargain for the size. I mean, look at all this land. You couldn't buy Murfreesboro, my little dot right here. You couldn't buy Murfreesboro for that amount today. And he bought all of these states, all of that territory. That was a bargain. Bargain. Okay. And then my last little arrow, kind of showing how these things related to each other. Thomas Jefferson sent these guys. They needed money, so we got it. Well, and Jefferson was not expecting to get all that land. He sent them just to negotiate for Louisiana. Okay. So when he got all that land, he was like, what's out there? What all did we get? What riches are out there? What plants are out there that we could grow and sell and make money? What animals are out there that we could sell their furs? Is there a waterway all the way from this side of the United States all the way to the Pacific Ocean? Because if there's a waterway, it's so much easier to travel by boat across water than it is to, carry horses and wagons and things across land. So he's like, I've got to figure out what's out there. So he hires Lewis and Clark to go and explore this new territory. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. And we're going to talk about their expedition on Thursday. Well, we are buying the land today, and then on Thursday we're going to talk about what they did and how they explored and all the troubles and adventures that they faced. All righty. So here's Jefferson while you're getting those last bit down. Here's Jefferson. Again, with those luscious locks, watch out. All right. He says, find me some cool stuff, guys. And a waterway across the U.S. Find me some cool stuff and a waterway across the U.S. Because nobody really knew what was out in that territory. So Jefferson is hoping, I'll pull it back up. I want you to see the map. Jefferson is hoping that somewhere, because we got the Mississippi River here and it kind of branches out. They start in St. Louis on the Mississippi and they branch out on that river, hoping that maybe that river continues all the way to the ocean. Because then, man, talk about a trade route. We could get goods and things all the way out west and start exploring further. So they start in St. Louis and they're trying to find a waterway west. Okay. Of course, there's not a waterway west, it stops. Okay. But Lewis and Clark didn't know that. And they said, on it, boss. So here we go. We got Lewis. Here's Clark. And they say, on it. And they're going to take care of it. They're going to go and explore for Jefferson and help him find cool things. And that's the Louisiana Purchase. We bought it from France. And on Thursday, we'll talk about their exploration. Bye, guys.